Welcome to the bold analysis. There are three observations I want us to pay our attention to 2 days to the Azimio la Umoja much hyped mass action. The first one is a propaganda tool by Dennis Itumbi, where he mentioned some unfounded propaganda that allegedly Raila met with a section of leaders, and it was on how the Ruto can feel the pinch, or rather trying to project Raila as a man who is against Nairobi, the Kikuyus that are doing business in Nairobi. I saw that propaganda in Twitter, and I was a bit, I was just asking myself, even if you're to make a propaganda, if someone has to make a propaganda of that magnitude, the most honorable thing is to write a statement in the nearest police station, then the matter is picked up for probe, because probably you have some evidence on that. So I am seeing a lot of propaganda that is leading on the fact that mass action can actually bring destruction of property and business standstill. The second observation I'm making is on the latest threats to arrest Raila Odinga, or rather that we are going to deal with Raila if he continues with the mass action as planned, and that seems to have been proved by this latest attack on Raila Odinga's convoy during the Kiambu rally. It is not a coincidence, and in fact I'll come back to do some analysis on that. It's not a coincidence that a day after someone was just thumping that I'm going to deal with Raila, the convoy was attacked, or rather there was a tear gas canister that was thrown while on that rally to disperse the public. So there is concerted effort that is now being put to contain Raila, and the biggest challenge, rather to contain Azimio, but the biggest challenge is protecting the balance between protecting the population while at the same time countering the Azimio rallies. And I can say this, if Raila Odinga is to take control of the mass action, then it will be very peaceful. For the rogue elements that could be planted, or rather that are planning to go and destroy people's properties, I think that is why security is supposed to be, that's why the security is supposed to be there. Anyone who is going to leave his place to attack, to destroy someone's car, to vandalize someone's shop, to break into, those people are not protesters. So with person in that mind, that is not what Azimio la Umoja, what Raila has said, that is not what is going to do. So I understand that the first impression that was created that maybe targeting people's businesses, to me is a narrative that was crafted strategically to guide what would be the security measures within Nairobi. You create some imaginary challenges that might arise, or rather some imaginary threats, so that you can cordon probably some areas. And for me, I believe that if protesters, wherever they're going to converge, where they're going to start, it should just be allowed free flow. The only problem that where things normally go south is when there is a confrontation with the security officers. So the deep state seems to be it, and I think Raila's reaction is very precise. I am not going to back down. I'm not a coward. I'm going to face it, and I'm willing to die for it. That reaction is one that, the intention of all this is to create a bit of fear. But that reaction is actually telling the population that I am ready and be ready to come out. So that is it. And with that, I want to tell you why there are the deep state, if there is the current deep state, is a bit wary of Monday. Of course, both me and you don't know what will happen. There is that environment of uncertainty, but Monday is just 2 days from here. But there seems to be a bit of a panic and people getting wary of what can happen. I want us to look at those 4 scenarios that really people are crashing their heads on. Kindly subscribe to our channel, click the notification bell and like our video. I want to say thank you very much for those who are supporting us from different parts of this country and of course from different parts of the world. And I want to first continue sending condolences to the family of Baba Mona and the sister. They are going to be, the body arrived from Star Mortuary in Kisumu home today evening. There is a night vigil. Then the burial will be tomorrow. I was following up with some of the members or friends who are there. Yeah, it's very sad to bury 3 in a while. Let's pray for the family that God is going to comfort them during this difficult moment. For those who will be planning, and shall also be making, just going there sometime later in the month. Ladies and gentlemen, Nairobi Monday, and this is what the state must look at. The way you will handle Monday, the problem is not even the protesters. The protesters can be controlled. Yes. The Azimio team can put structures themselves to control the protesters. But there is that which is beyond the Azimio strategist, and that is how the police can handle it. One of the challenges that many people, and why they're getting wary of it, is it can cause other spontaneous protests in other parts of the country. We are in a digital world. The whole country is waiting to see on what exactly this will be. I was privy to some meeting of some journalists, some WhatsApp groups, some journalists, and we were actually having a long discussion on how is the mainstream going to cover it. Is it illegal? It's not illegal because protest is allowed. What must you show the country? Can you show things that can also stir up emotions in other areas? What about it? The way they're going to manage, and I'm telling you, it's not just, the dilemma is not only just on the security and the state, even the media. The journalists are really trying to find out what, the media houses are also struggling to find out, what should we show the public? Should we show the public everything that is going on? While it's part of accountability for the sake of objective reporting, but can it also be an element of extremism, or can it charge those who are still at home? There is a lot of dilemmas as far as this is concerned, because if you mishandle Nairobi, other areas will hold their protests. Yes, spontaneous. Other areas can also hold their protest. The second thing, and this is about media coverage of confrontation, would actually bring the attention of the country, and the global north will raise alarm over what's happening in the country. If there is something that President William Ruto and Rigathi Gachagua and the Kenya Kwanza are praying for, is that Raila is ignored, or rather people keep off and nothing happens. It becomes something like a nightwatch, because ever since the Azimio rallies and the Azimio events have been dismissed as just threats, or rather trying to coerce things and push people to the wall. So, would the President William Ruto not want a situation where it's raising eyebrows. It's raising an alarm. In fact, let me say this way. If Azimio doesn't go to State House and they just hold protest Monday to Monday within Nairobi, and they be in a position to sustain it and create standoff, what will it be? Because if you are to have 100, if you are to have 2,000 people in Nairobi, what are you talking about? If you are to have 2,000 people in Nairobi, then they must bring a standstill. There are some roads that must be closed. And again, managing the population wakiwa wengi is also a challenge. So this is something that is, and I know that I can tell you, there is nothing that is going to be done to Raila and Azimio, no. But the strategy is clear that we want to scuttle it by making sure that people don't come up. People don't come. I will not be shocked to hear of a Monday that road has been closed, or that other one has been closed, or there is some power shortage, power outage. There will be dramas just to suppress the public, for also people to fear what is going to happen. There will be, you will expect that. The other thing is this. Monday will also occasion the start of a daily or weekly protest that has the potential of shutting the economy. In fact, we've been asking, what's after? What will happen after the day with destiny? So what will happen after? I know it's a bit of a spontaneous process. You cannot come on one day and do it. What's the end goal? Then, I can tell you there is a lot of effort to scuttle Monday, because many people believe that, and that is what the perception of Raila's critics is, that if Monday doesn't succeed, that is the end of Raila. And I can tell you, it will reach a point where I will not tell people to protest. They will just protest themselves. In fact, if Raila is to say don't protest, you'll be shocked. People will turn against him and say sisi tunaenda ni sisi tunaumia, kumbe wewe uko njaa. So that is my observation on that. I'm coming back with an interesting one, because people are really asking, where is Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, where all these things are happening. It's an interesting one. So let's move on.